Discipline starts with small daily habits, not big promises. People often imagine that discipline means waking up at 4 a.m., studying for 10 hours straight, or making grand vows about never wasting a single minute. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Discipline is hidden in the little choices you make every day, the kind of choices that seem too small to matter in the moment but quietly shape the direction of your entire life. Imagine someone who wants to learn English but promises themselves they will read an entire book every week. That sounds impressive, but such promises rarely last. The weight of a big goal without a steady routine usually crushes a person. Now imagine another learner who chooses something almost laughably small, like reading one page of an English book each morning before breakfast. It may seem insignificant, but it builds a rhythm, a heartbeat of consistency. Over time, that one page becomes two, then five, then a whole chapter. This is the quiet secret of discipline. It is not about the size of your effort in one moment, but the loyalty to small actions repeated over and over again. Like drops of water shaping a stone, these daily habits shape your future without you even realizing it. When others give up after the first rush of motivation fades, the one who keeps showing up in small ways begins to stand apart. It is in these tiny habits, writing one new sentence, memorizing a single word, listening to 5 minutes of English audio, that discipline is born. Big promises may inspire, but small habits endure. And those who endure, even in the smallest steps, soon find themselves ahead of almost everyone else. Clear goals create a strong sense of direction. Without them, even the most disciplined person can end up wandering in circles. Many learners say, "I want to improve my English," but that dream is too vague to guide their daily actions. Discipline needs a target, something that tells you where to aim and how to measure progress. Think of a traveler. If he wakes up and simply says, "I want to go somewhere," he might walk for hours, but he will never know whether he is closer to his destination. But if he decides, "I want to reach the mountain on the horizon," suddenly every step has meaning. The same is true for English. Saying, "I want to learn English" is like walking without direction, but saying, "I want to hold a 5 minute conversation without switching to my native language" gives clarity. Clear goals act like a compass. They keep you focused when distractions pull you away. They remind you of why you started when the road feels long. More importantly, they break the impossible into something possible. Reading one book may feel overwhelming, but reading 5 pages a day until the book is finished feels manageable. Speaking fluently may seem far away, but practicing with a friend for 10 minutes a week feels within reach. With clear goals, discipline is not blind effort, it becomes purposeful action. And once you know where you are heading, the journey itself begins to feel lighter because every step takes you closer to a vision you can see. Environment shapes behavior more than willpower alone. Many people think discipline is only about inner strength, but the truth is that the world around you has a powerful influence on your actions. If your phone is always buzzing with notifications, it will be hard to focus on reading. If your room is cluttered with distractions, your mind will be restless. But if you shape your environment carefully, discipline almost happens by itself. Imagine two learners. The first keeps English books hidden in a drawer, buried under old notebooks. Every time she wants to study, she has to search for them, and most days she doesn't bother. The second learner places her English book on the table where she eats breakfast, her notebook open with a pen beside it. Every morning, it almost feels natural to pick it up and read a little before starting the day. The difference is not willpower, it is environment. You can make learning English easier by surrounding yourself with it. Change your phone's language settings. Stick new words on your mirror so you see them while brushing your teeth. Play English audio softly in the background while cooking. Fill your space with gentle reminders of your goal. When your environment is built to support learning, you don't fight against temptation. You glide with it. Discipline grows when you stop relying on strength alone and instead design a space where the right choice is the easy choice. That is why the most successful learners are not always the strongest, but the ones who build a world around them that quietly pulls them toward progress. Self-control grows stronger when practiced consistently. Many people believe self-control is something you either have or don't have, like a gift given at birth. But the truth is that self-control is more like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And just like a muscle, if you never train it, it stays weak. Imagine someone who wants to learn English but always gives in to small temptations, scrolling on their phone, watching random videos, or postponing study for tomorrow. Each time they give in, they train their mind to take the easy way. Now imagine another learner who chooses discipline in small moments. Instead of skipping practice, they study for 10 minutes. Instead of watching another movie in their own language, they pick one in English. Each act may seem small, but together they are like push-ups for the mind. Over time, these repeated acts of self-control build a stronger will. At first, saying no to distractions feels heavy, but after weeks of practice, it becomes lighter, almost natural. The learner discovers that self-control is not about being strict all the time. It is about choosing growth over comfort again and again until it becomes part of who you are. This is why disciplined people seem unshakable. It is not because they never feel tempted, but because they have trained their self-control like a warrior sharpens his sword. And just as the sword becomes sharper with each strike, self-control becomes stronger with each choice to stay committed. Sacrificing comfort today builds freedom tomorrow. Most people run toward comfort as if it were the ultimate goal of life. They choose the couch over the book, the movie over the practice, the easy path over the hard one. Comfort feels sweet in the moment, but it secretly steals from the future. Discipline, on the other hand, often feels uncomfortable at first, but it plants the seeds of freedom that grow with time. Think of a student who refuses to study English because it feels tiring. He relaxes today, but tomorrow he faces the same barrier, still unable to understand, still afraid to speak, still dependent on others. His comfort today becomes his prison tomorrow. Now imagine another student who sacrifices comfort. Instead of sleeping an extra hour, she spends that time reading English articles. Instead of watching endless videos in her own language, she listens to English podcasts. Each choice may feel like a small sacrifice, but with every step, she is carving a path to freedom, the freedom to travel, to connect, to work without limits. The truth is, freedom is never free. It is always paid for with discomfort, practice, and sacrifice. The ones who look effortless today, the fluent speakers, the confident communicators, are the ones who chose discipline yesterday. They gave up a little comfort then, so they could enjoy much greater comfort now. Sacrifice is not a punishment, it is an investment. Each time you push aside comfort for the sake of learning, you are buying freedom for your future self, and that freedom, once earned, feels far sweeter than the fleeting pleasures you gave up along the way. Accountability helps discipline last longer. When you keep your goals only inside your head, it's easy to let them slip away quietly. No one knows if you skipped practice, no one notices if you broke your promise, and so your discipline fades in silence. But when you share your commitment with someone else, the weight of accountability keeps you steady. Imagine a learner who promises himself to read in English every evening. For a week, he tries hard, but then one day he feels tired and says, "I'll skip just this once." Soon, the habit disappears. Now imagine another learner who tells a friend, "Every evening, I'll send you one new word I learned in English." Suddenly, it is harder to quit. Skipping a day would mean breaking a promise, not only to himself, but to someone else. The simple act of sharing creates strength. Accountability can take many forms. It might be a study partner who expects you to show up, a teacher who checks your progress, or even a cousin overseas who speaks with you once a week. Sometimes accountability can even come from writing your goals in a notebook and checking them off daily, as if you are reporting to your future self. Discipline, when practiced alone, is like a fire exposed to the wind. It can fade quickly. But when fueled by accountability, it becomes a steady flame, harder to extinguish. That is why the most disciplined learners do not walk the path entirely alone. They let others' eyes and expectations strengthen their own resolve, turning discipline into something lasting and unshakable. Delaying gratification separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Most people chase quick rewards. They want fast progress, instant fluency, and the pleasure of results without the patience of effort. But English, or any great skill, does not bow to impatience. It rewards those who can wait, those who can push aside the sweetness of now for the greater harvest of later. Picture a learner who opens a grammar book but grows restless after a few minutes. He says, "This is too slow," and switches to entertainment. He gets his quick reward: laughter, distraction, comfort, but nothing lasting. Then imagine another learner who feels the same restlessness but resists it. She tells herself, "I will finish this page before I rest." That small delay builds strength. Over time, she learns to resist the pull of quick pleasures again and again, and each act of patience builds a bridge toward mastery. Delaying gratification is like planting seeds. The soil does not give fruit today, but if you water it daily and guard it carefully, one day you walk into a garden rich with growth. In the same way, hours of practice that feel unrewarded at first suddenly bloom into fluent conversations, confident writing, and effortless understanding. This is the hidden difference between the majority and the rare few. Ordinary learners consume pleasure in the present. Extraordinary learners invest in the future. The ordinary say, "I'll relax now and try again tomorrow." The extraordinary say, "I'll practice now so tomorrow feels lighter." And when the seasons of effort finally bear fruit, the extraordinary stand apart, not by luck, but by their quiet power to wait. Progress is built on consistency, not bursts of effort. Many learners believe that one long, intense study session will change everything. They spend 6 hours in a single day reading, writing, or listening, but then collapse in exhaustion and skip the next week. Their effort burns bright for a moment, then fades into darkness. True progress doesn't work that way. It grows like the rising sun, slow, steady, and unstoppable. Imagine two students. The first studies English once a month for a whole day. He feels proud after each marathon session, but when he returns, he has forgotten much of what he learned. The second student studies for just 20 minutes each day. Her sessions are small, almost too simple, but she shows up every day without fail. After a year, who is stronger? Not the one who worked in bursts, but the one who built the quiet rhythm of consistency. Consistency is powerful because it transforms learning into habit. At first, you push yourself to study, but after weeks of repetition, it becomes as natural as brushing your teeth. You don't argue with yourself, you don't delay, you simply do it. That is when discipline begins to feel effortless. Progress is never about speed. It is about steady steps that over time cover a great distance. A single drop of water cannot carve stone, but drops falling every day create rivers. In the same way, a little practice daily creates a strength no marathon session can ever match. Those who master consistency discover that slow effort, repeated faithfully, always wins the race. Discipline transforms learning English into a lifelong strength. At first, discipline may feel like something you use only for studying words, practicing grammar, or listening to lessons. But slowly, it becomes something greater. It becomes part of who you are. The daily effort to sit down, focus, and keep going even when it feels hard builds more than language skills. It builds a character that can face challenges in every area of life. Think of someone who starts learning English with discipline. At the beginning, they gain vocabulary, then they build fluency. But as months pass, they also gain patience, focus, and resilience. These are not just tools for learning a language. They are tools for life itself. That same strength that helps you finish a chapter in English can help you finish a project at work, stay calm in stressful moments, or chase dreams others abandon. Discipline takes something temporary, like the goal of learning English, and turns it into a permanent treasure inside you. Even if one day you no longer need to study the language, the habits you built will remain. You will know how to stay steady when others give up, how to resist distractions, and how to keep walking toward a goal no matter how long the road may seem. That is why discipline is more than a study skill. It is a lifelong strength. It teaches you that true success is not built on talent or luck, but on the daily choice to keep moving forward. And once you understand this, learning English becomes more than learning a language. It becomes proof that you can shape your future, no matter where you begin.